Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are finally at Tapiola, which is the start of bus line 116, and this is one of the local buses sorry, serving servicing traffic in Tapiola and operated with minibuses. I have been avoiding these minibus lines for a long time because they're sort of extremely job intensive to create, and today I will be cutting one corner short. The line really starts from here in Tapionaukio, but I will make it start from here at a stop called Sateenkaari Regnbågen, and there is a reason for that. But here we have Sateenkaari Regnbågen. Let's go build the nice little double city asphalt road in here and in there, and oh well, a nice crossing. Let's see if I could actually build it this way without the tracks or roads touching each other. I can. Wonderful, wonderful. And the reason to it is that when you the reason why I started from here is that when you run the line both directions, it will actually stop at Sateentie 4 times, and I will cut that into 2 times just because I can. Isn't that, well, sort of dystopical? So the first loop has been created, and then let's build the blueprints, and then let's go on creating the line. It's the basic 3.5 euros. That's it. And we'll start from Sateenkaari, like I said, and then we'll stop at Sateentie. And we won't stop at Tapiola next. We will instead go out to Tapionaukio. And in Swedish that's going to be called Tapioplatsen. And the stop is located in here by a hotel, which is, located in here. And it will run a double track despite, again, not running a double track in real life. The reason is, once again, very, very simple. I want to stop there twice. And that's why I will have to make the track work like this. And then create it as a double onwards from here. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm basically gonna have to build a loop, and then I'm gonna have to add one crossing to loop in there and another one in there, but also one in there and another one in here. What an interesting crossing it's gonna be. Lovely. Who thought that a line originating in a roundabout could be this difficult? Well, I wasn't actually thinking anything, but this is probably the reason why the line starts at Tapionaukio. I think things could have been made far more easier by doing this in a different way, but I now chose to do it this way, so difficulties it shall be. Thank you. Thank you very much, line 169, but that should do the trick. Then let's go back to lines. Stop at Tapionaukio, and we stop at Tapiola. From Tapiola, we will then move on to Tuuliniitty. Simple enough, right? Then the following stop is called Tuulikuja. Obviously, it's going to be called Vindgrenden. That's right. So Tuulikuja Vindgrenden is located in here. It's once again a one-way stop, but for reasons which I already stated, it's going to be a double stop this time. Here we go. And this crossing is getting more interesting by the day, but we will put it in there. Then we'll place the signals. Sorry. And there we go. Another loop has been created. And after Tuulinniitty, then the line will then stop at. No, sorry. Wait, this is not Tuulinniitty. It's Tuulikuja. Sorry about that. There we go, much better that way. So it stops at Tuulinniitty. No, Tuulikuja. Sorry, then it again stops at Tuulinniitty. Not in this universe, though. The following stop is called Länsi-Tuulenkuja, and it's going to be right north of this intersection. But until we get to the intersection, I will just have to. Okay, come on, won't be that difficult. There we go. Okay, let's then move the signals to their rightful place. Once the autosave is done, there we go, thank you. The following stop is then called Länsi-Tuulenkuja. Interesting, my browser just failed. No, now it came back up. Länsi-Tuulenkuja, Västanvindsgränden, and it's located right in here. There we go. Then we'll of course need a crossing in here. Oops. There we go. And a crossing to the other direction. There we go. We'll also need a loop in the end, because that's what it does. There we go. And now I think the system is ready to be added to the network. Like I said, the minibus lines are sort of a pain in the ass. Thank you for that. Following stop is Pohjantie. And that stop luckily already exists. Then we will stop at Ahertajankuja, which is going to be located by the another interesting thing here. The Vegetalo stop it's located in the wrong place for this line, but then we'll place Ahertajankuja in there, and that's gonna be called Flitargränden, and it's placed in here. Oops, double please. Oops, come on. Thank you. Or let's not actually place it there. like I said, a pain in the ass. There we go. And let's actually make the other side of the crossing ready also. There we go. Double crossing. Hey, hey. Then let's create a loop for it. Please. And that's it. And then let's put on the signals. And there we go. Back to the line view. And after VG-talo, we'll then stop at Ahetankui. That's it. The following stop is at Kaskenkaatre. That's once again a nice normal stop. But after Kaskenkaatre, we'll then have a stop at a place called Miilupolku. And that's gonna be over here, Milstigen. It's somewhere around here. Double, please. Q. And there we go. After Miilupolku, the bus will then stop at the Vemmelsäärentie, Långskangsvägen, there we go, and there we go. That's it. So that's where Vemmelsäärentie is for us. And then, after Vemmelsäärentie, we will then stop at Ukonvaaja, Oskpiilen. Oops. And after Ukonvaaja, we will then turn back to the big road and stop at Takojantie. You want to know what comes after that. So, after last stopping at Kaskenkatria, we'll take the route through Miilupolku and to Vemmelsaaren tie and to Ukon. Okay, so then, instead of stopping at Takojantie, we will create one more loop before it. And that loop is located right over here at Piilopolku. Called Jämsten in Swedish, and it's gonna be in here. And after that, we will then move on to Takojantie, which probably explains why the junction is built this way. So there is the loop to Piilopolku. A loop is also needed here in the end. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. There we go. So it shall be Piilopolku and it shall be Takojantie. There we go. And then what happens? Is an other loop. Oh, well, it didn't really go that way. Takojan Puisto Smidaparken is located in here. And before the Takojantie stop, we will also take it into here. Sorry about that. Sorry about that too. Looks like an interesting intersection. I hope it works in a proper way. Then we'll loop at Takojan Puisto. Loop. There we go. Build these blueprints and go back to lines. So we will... Oh shit. Fuck. I accidentally put it to the wrong intersection. How nice. Well, I will not fix my mistake. I will instead do it this way. There we go. The following stop after Takojan Puisto will be at Louhentori. then Louhentori stop doesn't exist, so then Rauduntie. And finally at Valkjärventie, I will make it up by placing one stop in there. So the final stop is then called Valkjärventie. So that's one way stop. So Valkjärventie, Valkjärviväjin. And that one will be located in here. So finally this line is over. There we go. I absolutely hate creating these minibus lines. They're not absolutely hate, they're irritating, let's put it that way. They're really, really, really irritating with all these twists and turns. Impossible for ordinary buses, but much needed for the inhabitants. So I think we're done there. Let's build that thing and then let's see if I can make this bus run back home. So there is the end loop. Then Raudunkulma, Rauduntie, Takojantie, Piilapolku. The order in here is arbitrary because this Takojanpuisto stop is on the wrong road. But I will not be moving it. I am not going down like this. So then, and the stops actually are arbitrary also, because every time the stop always comes after the crossing, which means that the Vegetalo stop, one way of it is located in here and one way is located on the other side of the stop. So the order of the stop isn't quite what it should be. But this is the way I have chosen to create these lines, and you'll just have to put up with it. And then this one, and then this nice little loop-de-loop in there, and then Satenti, and finally the end. Thank you. That was, like I said, mostly irritating. The line runs in reality Monday to Friday every 2 hours. That's very fine. Let's open the line. Let's have a look at the buses here, because this time I will need one of the minibuses. And I will choose bus number 12 to be the one to be cloned into bus number 13. And then I will place it on line 116, which can be found somewhere in here. It's over there. And then let's run the line, and it actually runs hourly. So one bus is enough in here. And the first minibus line in Espoo has been created. Don't worry, there will be numerous further minibus lines, which I will create in the coming videos, in the coming days. Until then, it's time to say bye.